Dun, dun, dun.
This is the Justuff League.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Justuff League. Whoa, okay, so that might have been a little bit weird, out of harmony, because this is a groundbreaking day, ladies and gentlemen, for the Justuff League, and we just need to take a moment of silence because it's a groundbreaking day without our precious Kev Dog.
Yeah, it does feel a little strange.
Yeah,
I think we've maybe done one or two episodes without Kevin total, and we're on like episode 231. So it's weird to not have him.
He's hopped out for a couple, hopped in for a couple, had to take a phone call occasionally, but he's always been here.
But the reason why, oh my God, see, James, I already like it so much better because I could see you talking. It's like I could visually time it out.
You could have always seen me talking just by looking at the damn screen.
Seriously, I started to bring a TV, my own fucking TV, so you guys would have a big screen to look at for James, and you'd still just look at each other the whole time.
So back to it. What are we talking about, people? Why is this groundbreaking? Because you are visually seeing us. You are seeing this. This is me in real life, moving my hands and arms and pointing to my face.
Very true. So for the audio listener, we are recording this. We're recording this video, and we're going to put it on a YouTube channel that will be linked in the show notes, so you can watch this episode.
I gotta say, I am somewhat dumb because I was just thinking, like, oh my God, now it's all going to be audio, visual, fantastical Justuff League. But that's right, we still have audio listeners, correct?
I mean, that's pretty much all we've had for the 4 years that we've been doing the show. So, yes, we still have audio listeners. And people were very inquisitive about why we took such a long break in the month of January. Part of it was planned, but other parts of it were tech-related. And tonight's Kevin's absence is a carryover from some of those tech-related incidents. Yeah. But we're going to get back on it. So what are we talking about, Trav? I don't even remember.
That being said, you have Mr. James Supp.
Oh, hi, James.
Producer
Hello.
Kyle. Producer Kyle.
Kyle in the corner.
T-Dog over here. I can't say what my nickname was on the screen pre-meeting, but we'll just say T-Dog.
It was T-Money.
T-Money. Oh, I was looking for the one that predated T-Money.
Yeah, no. We're not going to share that one.
It's kind of R-rated.
It's, what's the acronym? NSFW? Not safe for work? Is that the acronym?
Right.
Yes, that's the kind of porn you've been checking out, yes.
So what are we talking?
Really safe for work? I mean,
that's great. I thought about it the minute it left my mouth, and I was like, "Ah, man, that one didn't really land down, did it?"
No, just got worse.
What are we talking about, Sup?
Well, today I thought we'd do something very strange. Talking about cardboard standees or stand-ups. These are the kind of signs you see in grocery stores advertising bread, or at the movie theater with the giant cardboard Wally. You see these show up at auction all the time, especially like the Star Trek Next Generation cardboard stand-ups, things like that. My kids love them. I've used them quite often as BB gun targets, setting them on fire. But is there any money to them? I mean, and is there any interest? I mean, I love them. I think they're great.
I agree. I think they are aesthetically appealing, I guess, or they're interesting to look at. But in my mind, no, it does not translate to dollar signs. I mean, any experience that I've had with cardboard stand-up, my personal experience, like, oh, let me take this, Terminator Judgment Day cardboard stand-up and try to sell it, and then it brings like $75.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much my experience. They're all kind of in the same place, with a few notable exceptions. I mean, you've got very, very rare, desirable ones, like one that Heritage Auctions sold. It was an Elvis Presley Love Me Tender standee. And as far as I can tell, it is the highest price standee, period. Want to take a guess on how much that one is, Travis?
Love Me Tender, is it like Elvis being like a full figure Elvis?
Oh yeah, it's just exactly what you expect. It's a 6 foot tall Elvis. They have die cut cardboard from 1956 advertising his movie.
See, that, because it's so old, 1956, Elvis Presley, it's a movie collectible, it's an Elvis collectible. My guess, I'm going to say $6,500.
Okay. Well, so back in 2012 when it sold, the estimate was $2,000 to $3,000. Ended up selling for $16,000.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be a little bit better now. I mean, if you want to take a look, it's on the whatchamacallit?
The screen?
Presenter? Yeah.
There we go. Look at this. Big technology breakout right here, everybody on the Justuff League.
I think
Bam! That's the one you want right there.
That sold for $16,000.
Yep. It's the only one. I mean, it's early. I mean, if you look at it here, I'll use you can see a little dividing line where it was cut in half. No, who knows how many of these were made, but this is the only one that I've been able to find that survived.
See, so my opinion on this, though, of why this is an extreme outlier is because it predates, like, I'd say your common movie standees by at least 30 years. I mean, most of the ones that I encounter are at the most late 70s into the 80s, 90s, and then especially 2000s. I've never personally encountered a movie standee like this from Elvis, because just imagine, I mean, James, did they have standees like this for, say, King Kong and Frankenstein and stuff like that?
No. I first started seeing standees show up after World War II, because basically it's photo technology. Yes, you could print that big, but it wasn't easy. It was really expensive to do so. They would have stand-ups that were hand-painted. They would be photographs. You see those, but they're not as popular. Most of the time, what you end up seeing, the closest cousin of these are like when you go to Coney Island and you go up and they have the little cutout to put your face in. You see a lot of those. And I think that's kind of where these evolved from. And again, those have no money to them. But the hand-painted ones from the carnival, a couple $100 on the best day ever.
And I'm surprised that, I'm going to answer this and then correct myself all in the same breath. And I know how stupid that sounds. I'm surprised that they aren't worth more money, especially from like marquee films, because they're cardboard, they easily deteriorated, and even if you attempted to save them in a basement, I mean, cardboard naturally absorbs moisture. They are just, I feel, a total condition hazard to really have as part of a collection. But on the flip side, what are you going to do if you have, like, I don't know anybody who goes, oh, check out my collection of like 165 cardboard standees. They're all in my living room.
Well, and what's crazy is, I mean, one, you've got to ship them. Whoever produces them has to ship them cross country. So they're kind of limited. They've got to all be folded in half. And like you said, there's plenty of waste of water damage. And when they're on display, kids are going to walk up to them. They're going to play with them. They're going to try to shake David Hasselhoff's hand or what have you. They're going to get destroyed. They're meant to be destroyed. I mean, but once you have them, how do you put them up? Now, there are some from the 1950s and 1960s that are really cool. Like they've got to my mind, they've got some, like life-size Donald Duck ones for Donald Duck orange juice. There are other ones for, I just found it here. There it is. I think you'll like this one. So these are World War II era counter standees. These are shorter ones. These are like, what size were they? A couple feet tall? Doesn't say.
No, but I can imagine
these are for
counter standees probably.
Foot.
Yep.
Yeah, foot or 2 feet. I mean, these are great, and they'd look good in a World War II era soda fountain or something like that. Those are a couple $100. I really enjoy those, and then they have some other funky shapes.
See now, but this again, you look at the women standees there, like Coca-Cola, yes, but I just look at those two girls, and that is the most iconic, like picture perfect you can imagine, like post World War II coming right out, like 1950s, like let's go, come on. See now that one does not look as interesting.
Nope, not as nice, not as fun.
No.
Santa Claus, 1952.
Oh, lot closed. I mean, you can't even see what it sold for.
It didn't sell.
Didn't? Okay, so that was estimated. Estimated 400 to 700.
Yeah. There's not a lot of money in most of them. I mean, you do see a few exceptions, but you're right. How would you display this? Other than, make it great once a year display, then you have to store it the rest of the time around. This is my favorite. This is what you probably typically see. is
Welcome
crazy thing. Yeah, Don Rickles. This is the kind of what I call dorm room or frat house design.
Yes.
It's crap that you pull out of a dumpster and hang up in there.
Is that Don Rickles with like a leaf blower?
Yep.
And a garden.
That is great.
Because we got to keep in mind, even though we can see these visuals for YouTube, audio only listeners can't have their eyes be ravaged by Don Rickles looking the way he does in his camo sweatshirt leaf blower setup. That's
It's a 1990s era Don Rickles, with a backpack, leaf blower, and a bunch of other random landscaper accoutrement saying, "Welcome to Rickle. I'm glad you're here."
Yeah,
who the hell
like
knows
Don
what it
Rickles,
means?
like circa dirty work era. Remember when he was in dirty work? This would be at like a Spencer's Gifts or something.
Right. Yeah, you buy a Spencer's Gifts, I imagine, something like that. It's one step up from a poster. This is the crap I tend to see a lot of. It was in the kids' rooms for years. We just didn't have the heart to throw it away. And shockingly, that's going to sell for $250.
What?
There's also a whole bunch of David Hasselhoff ones. And because David Hasselhoff is the Hoff, his stuff tends to sell for, especially if it's signed Baywatch era, it's going to sell for around $300 or $400. I mean, just for the sheer crazy absurdity of it.
People want to make out with 1990s David Hasselhoff. I mean, I get it, but I was going
to say there must be also a matching cardboard standee of Pamela Anderson from Baywatch. I bet that has huge.
Not going to do as well. Those are $120.
Really?
Because they probably made way more of those than they did for the Hoff.
Yeah, and frankly, the Hoff's cooler. I mean,
that is true.
On a surfboard.
I mean, look at this, an iced Hoffy. I mean, this is probably much more recent because it's got a hashtag, but still.
I actually remember this promotion. This is definitely from within the last 10 years.
This is from
like a Cumberland Farms, right?
Yes, you can see Cumberland Farms right on the cup.
Oh, jeez, that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
So
yeah, I totally.
That's $400 for
Stop it.
David Hasselhoff riding on a surfboard, selling 99-cent coffee for Cumberland Farms.
That's
which
crazy.
For the rest of the world, Cumberland Farms is your local quick stop in Massachusetts.
7-Eleven, whatever. It's all over the
all
North.
coffees are 99 cents. It's great.
Do you ever get coffee there though, Trav? I never do.
No, I'm dedicated Dunkin' man. I'm always just drinking Dunkin'. I'm the typical mass hole.
Yeah.
Just I realize that when they say stereotypes and like they're true or not, the one thing that has aged better with time than anything ever is the Casey Affleck Saturday Night Live.
Oh God, skit. Yes.
Bro, the best part of that skit for me is when he's standing inside the Dunkin' Donuts but smoking cigarettes outside the door. He's like, "What? I'm not smoking in here," and he's smoking because I definitely do that. I'm definitely that dude. Oh, it's so annoying,
dude.
But I am that guy.
Hey, first time I saw that, I almost didn't laugh until halfway through because I thought it was a documentary. I did not think it was a skit. I mean, it was just too close to home.
How about when he's like, "Oh, hey, I got a coupon on here," and the screen's just totally smashed and destroyed. It's so true.
Broken phone. Yeah,
it's so true.
It is 100% accurate. I loved it.
And Dunkin' Donuts is a place where you see a lot of cardboard standees. 100%.
That's fair.
But none as cool as the one with the Hoff, man. None as cool as the one with the Hoff.
I mean, to be fair. But those are the exceptions. I mean, Travis, I think you hit it right out of the bag, right off the bat, was if you see like the Star Wars C-3PO, the Darth Vader one was hugely popular. There's no money in it. Even vintage ones from 1980, 1985 sells for the same as one from 1990.
Yeah, I'm also a little scarred in the world of cardboard standees, just like personally scarred. I had a traumatic experience with one during my childhood.
Explain.
Oh, go on. Tell me about your mother.
So, no, not that, but just, this is like young Travis going to auctions with his parents. I say young Travis, but this is like 2009, so it's really not that young. I mean, I would have been 13, 14.
That's pretty young, man. But yes, continue.
Local auction had a Transformers Revenge of the Fallen standee. Trudell's, James, where we go.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it had the big square, just big square stand up. The base of it was kind of like trapezoidal, where it stood, folded. Had big Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. It
was a big movie theater lobby display?
Okay. Yes. And I paid $225 for it. Like, I was balling out. I spent I was like, I have to have this thing. I took my money from working. I put it towards it. I paid it off. And it was in my basement on the unfinished side where I used to have problems with flooding. And then one day, heavy rainstorm, next thing you know, just totally soaked on the bottom, falling apart, just destroyed because I kept it in the basement. It's horrible.
Well, I thought you would have learned your lesson after the whole cotton candy castle that you had in the basement. I mean...
What? Wait, what do you mean cotton candy castle I had in the basement?
Yeah,
everybody learns it.
Sounds worse than you mean.
That didn't work as well as I would have.
No, it's not worse than you meant it to sound. I don't know if you guys knew this about me when you picked this topic, because I know that we just kind of spitballed the topic several minutes before we press record, but I grew up the child of a movie theater projectionist in the 90s.
So a ton of this stuff.
My dad would take my dad probably still has hundreds and hundreds of movie posters from like the years, I'll say like 1995 through probably like 2002, 2003, maybe. Tons of movie posters, but he also did grab a ton of old cardboard standees and cutouts from movie displays. Nice. Nothing super crazy or notable. The one I remember the most from being a kid was the one from Georgia, the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that would be pretty hot now.
It probably, with the Fraser Sance, if you want to say that.
Guy's a legend.
Brendan Sance?
Nah, Fraser, because I want people to know how to say his last name. But
Brendan Fraser.
Where we've all been saying it wrong for 30 years. Yeah, it's like laser, but Fraser.
Like laser taser? Like in dodgeball?
But Fraser. Anyway, Blazer. But anyway, it was the smart gorilla playing chess, that cardboard cutout. We had a ton of those. Nice. But like we're talking about, all of them were displayed. Like, how do you show those off? How do you show off that collection? All of them were displayed in like a rumpus room in the basement. One year, terrible flood in the house, destroyed a ton of that stuff. He was able to save some of it, thankfully, and a lot of it was like stored away because you can only have so much stuff on display. Yeah. But some of the primetime cardboard cutouts were the first things to have to get chucked in a dumpster.
That's why I hate collecting things that are so susceptible to like natural destruction.
I mean, I feel like all things are susceptible to natural destructions. Like, what do you think can stand up to like a volcano, man?
I don't know.
Exactly.
My angle
volcano.
My angle iron collection's getting pretty intense.
I don't know what angle iron is, but
you don't know what angle iron is?
I don't know what shit is what you guys talk about. Y'all talk about stuff from like 68 fucking till like 300 years ago. Leave me alone. I'm in my early 30s. I don't know anything about the world. Leave me be.
It's like rebar, but L-shaped.
So, so speaking of your dad's situation, not that they were cardboard standees, but when I was in high school, one of my really good friends, Mario, he used to work at a McDonald's, and I felt so bad. This is just like me scheming as a high schooler. I used to pay him $20 at the end of the month. So much different
than you scheming as an adult, for sure.
No, I don't scheme like
or
this.
Or the 9-year-old.
Yeah. So he was working at McDonald's. I used to pay him $20 every month. And at the end of the month, he would get me the Happy Meal display out of the dumpster. Like, the cardboard display that they put the toys on and tie it on? New McDonald's, they have the plastic case. Yep. And they swap. All it is like, it's a folded cardboard insert that the toys apply on, and it just pushes into the McDonald's case. Where before they used to, like, when I was a kid growing up in the early 2000s and late 90s, there were individual things that would stand up. So he would get me all the inserts, and I had a pile of them. And then finally I was going to college. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with all these McDonald's? I had like, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 of them. Because he was working there.
Like help you meet girls.
And he was working there like a year and a half. And I was like, dude, you got to get me these things. And then I remember I took them all, again, Trudell's, high school working ground. And I think for like the $340 I spent with him, I only got like $80 for all the McDonald's things.
And in the meantime, any girl that you brought home, her first question upon entering the door was, why does it smell like McDonald's French fries in this house?
Oh. I don't know. The right kind of girl would like that.
But there's definitely, the point is, I know we're having fun jumping around, but there is a market for standees, and if you are out and picking, you got to pay attention, and especially if they're unused and they're still flat in their cardboard container, and you go, oh, what is this cardboard box? Must be a bunch of junk. No, it's a brand new standee. I definitely, what would you say, James? It's just like an entry-level collectible or a beginner's item?
Yeah, at almost every level, I'd say it's entry level. I mean, there are only a few items out there that are top $50, and that tends to be the more absurd ones. The John Candy, Bill Murray ones would do better. The obscure characters, like the Don Rickles doing well, the David Hasselhoff, those are great. And then the early ones. But the problem is there is so much of them out there, like the 1988-89 Batman standee. That's a $20 one on a good day in the original box. But didn't you have some Superman ones a while back?
Did I have Superman? I don't think so.
George Reeves?
Oh, maybe.
George Reeves? Yeah. How old?
Yeah, it was maybe I was dealing with a client a couple years back. I thought I was having to you guys. He had a pair of George Reeves ones from the TV series from the 50s, and I know one had water damage. They're both unused in the original packaging. One had water damage, one did not. And I don't know if he ever sold them or not. If you don't remember him, he probably didn't. No,
so. James must have sent them to his other Travis friend. Yeah,
exactly. The other guy does pop culture.
I like how James says that as if he doesn't know a million other people who do it, who can do it. Travis does. That was funny.
I know. Well, here's a kicker. It's can they or would they? I know I can talk Travis into selling a pair of 1950 Superman standees and probably getting more people excited about it than almost anyone else. If I send it to, say, Heritage, one of the bigger auction houses, they're just going to go, we don't know what this is. We're not even going to take a chance because we're too lazy.
And Travis, man.
Well,
money hungry.
Dumb.
Oh, dude, that's what happened today. That's why it's like yesterday. It is. I feel so bad. We joke about it all the time at work because Joel every other day is like, I'll just retire. I don't need to be doing this anymore. But then I'll go crazy at home if I don't do anything. And then I'm like, I got to get in there early. Like today I went into work for 6:30 because I had all these good cards come in yesterday. I'm doing a trading card auction in March. And I had all these like good 1930s, really rare non-sports cards come in. I'm like, what am I not going to process these for a trading card auction and push them off? So no, I got in there early, sorted them all. I mean, there's like, with duplicates, there's 250 cards from the Horrors of War. There's
that's not 1930s though, but that's a great series.
Or 40s. Well, no, it is. It's like 1940, 1939, 1940.
Horrors of War? I thought it was much later. I thought it was 1950s, 1960s.
No, it's not. No way. Pull up the present mode. Let's go. I'm using this thing.
All right.
I'm presenting.
Do it.
Question off. Oh, wait. We need Travis to share the present. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hold on. This is getting crazy. I have all these warnings coming up. Open system preferences.
Oh, shit.
James, can you do it?
1938. I am wrong. You are right, sir.
That's it.
Wow.
Pop culture Travis.
I thought
Travis.
World War II.
None. And by the way, that auction Saturday, March 11th. Okay, so this episode should, all things considered, knock on wood, will be up before then.
Okay.
So.
Horrors of War is 38. Then there's one like called War Picture News. That's a really good one from 39. There's the 1940 Lone Ranger complete set. I mean, there were just some great. There's a set of cards, right, that I had never even heard of. It was 1938 Gum Makers of America, Frank Bauer. And it's this guy basically dressed up like Indiana Jones, and he's fighting crocodiles, he's fighting zebras and lions and all this stuff. It's crazy. And
I will have to check that out.
And, they're worth like $30 to $50 a card. And sometimes you go on eBay and like a single card will bring $90, but I've never found a group of more than like 4 or 5 cards selling. And there's 27 cards in this group, and they're all like between 1 and 4 shape. So, but that's why I'm a little congested, because I went in there. I did have gloves though. I did put gloves on. I just didn't wear a mask. I probably should have wore a mask.
Yeah, you think? You'll learn.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the Frank Bauer's by Gum. Gum also was a producer of Horrors of War.
Yeah, not Gum Inc. Not Gum Inc. that became Bowman. It's called Gum Makers of America.
Oh, I've never heard of them.
Neither did I. It was crazy. So the fun story of this collection that came in, if you remember back in October, we did that single owner collection, like the Henry Anderson collection, all those Golden Age comics. Well, I got a phone call. Today is Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Tuesday night. It's like 3 minutes before leaving the gallery. It's 3:57. Phone call. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's Henry Anderson's nephew, Burnt. By the way, we were doing the last sweep of the house dumpster stage. And in the basement, they're like, we found another box of comics that was unknown. And just incredible. I couldn't even handle it. And I thought I was freaking out when I saw like Wonder Woman 1 and the Detective Comic 38, but that's the stuff you see all the time, even though it's really expensive. I'm going through the pile. But no, I mean, you see it all the time for sale. You don't physically see it. Got it. But it's always for sale. Right. And so I'm going through the pile. He's like, I didn't think these were going to be worth much. Boom. Fox Feature Syndicate, February 1940, Science Comics #1. It's at least a 4.5 to a 5.0 copy. Overall, only 33 copies are known to exist. It's one of like the most iconic early sci-fi bondage covers that you could possibly have. It just has this blonde, like your typical Golden Age good girl art, blonde girl on a table, like getting zapped by this crazy laser, and like, holy Toledo. And I'm telling him, like, conservatively, without even competent in this shape, it's going to be like at least 3,000 to 5,000, could be more, 8,000, 10,000. I have no idea. I end up copping it out the last time a 5.0. So I think it's going to be 4 or 5. But the last 5.0 brought 19,000 like 3 years ago.
Wow.
So, and then on top of that, they had a Submariner Comics #5, like the iconic machine gun cover. And Submariner Comics
early
5,
World War II era.
That's 1942, like 5 months after Pearl Harbor. And it's so, James, it's like I feel bad talking about it publicly because I know it's not PC today, but it is incredible to read what they were publishing for kids. It's like,
stop right there. One, it's not for kids.
Pause.
It's not for kids.
Be careful with your words, Travis. You are on YouTube now, my friend. Second of all, yes, I totally agree. The language that they used in those early books, even like I don't want to say as recently as like the 60s or 70s, but like you don't have to go back to the 40s to find problematic language or like problematic terms for people.
Well, no,
you could catch it in the 80s, probably like the 90s.
It was definitely, but that one was those were propaganda pieces to show how America was about to fight the Yellow Peril, PERIL, coming out of the East. And racist as all get out. But remember, back then, they weren't just intended for kids. Adults read them. I mean, soldiers read them. They were hugely popular amongst 20, 30-year-olds. That was only in the 1950s, 1960s with the adoption of the Comic Code where it started to be, kid-friendly only.
Yeah, 50s,
So-
1956.
Yep.
56,
the Comic
57.
Code Authority can suck it. That's what I have
And
to
that's
say. Anyway,
after they wrote Frederick Worthington's Seduction of the Innocent. That was the book.
do you think they would ever make a movie about Frederick Worthington's Seduction of the Innocent and then subsequently make some cardboard movie stands about it?
Ooh, big circle back. Big circle.
Yeah, man, we're coming up on it. We got to wrap this baby up.
Oh, man.
It's called a
Very
professional
good.
segue, even though I definitely mixed words up. But you know what? I did my
You
damnedest.
did, but it came out pretty
Hey.
good.
And this was a total experimental episode. So this is new. This is new, uncharted territory.
100%. If you're an audio only listener, please go check out the link for the YouTube link in the show notes so you can watch this one. Maybe instead check it out. You can get some of the visual stuff that James brought up on the screen throughout the episode. Always cool to have the visuals, and it's always cool to see, your faces. And I guess in my case, my face as well today. So
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to figure out, is this a weird camera angle for me? Should my camera be slightly higher?
no,
I don't know. I really like looking up your nose.
See what I mean? I know my nose. Yeah, see my nose.
Because I can see the little bald spot on one.
Oh, yeah,
See, right there. See? Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I look terrible on
I mean,
camera either way, so I try not to think about it too much. But I think you look fine, Trav. Don't worry about it.
Very good. Well, I'm looking forward to doing these now audio visual because the Justuff League, we're up in our game, everybody. This is it. It's 2023. It's a new year.
It's 2023. And want to know what Travis texted me earlier today? He texted me, "Hey, Kyle, I just listened to my first podcast in probably close to 15 years today. I would love if you could get me on that podcast," which I'm going to work to do. Okay. But it's 2023. Travis Landry knows what a podcast is. He kind of has a loose idea on how they work. And we are going to take that working knowledge and implement it into the Justuff League.
Oh, I was going to say, wait, are we still going? Because I can tell. I was going to say, dude, my original podcast life is like circa 2008 to like 2012 when there was this I don't even know if it's
it was about Transformers,
dude,
right?
If this podcast is still around, I would like sell my left nut just to go talk to I don't even know if these guys are still doing it.
What's it called, man?
It was called WTF at TFW. And it was by I can't even Vangelis. Oh my god, that was his screen name, Vangelis. And he was like, we'd go to like the Transform
Like the musician?
Yeah, and then we would go. Then you'd go to the Transformers convention. Everybody would be like, "Whoa, that's the Transformers podcast guy! Oh my god, this is so crazy!" And then you had like 12-year-old Travis. They were like,
"So Travis, I'm glad you don't want to have kids."
Why? I do want kids.
You just said you give up your left nut. They're currently on episode 625 as of December 20th, 2022.
It's still going.
With
That's
Aaron.
Crazy.
Yeah, Evangelist adventures out into the real world to find tiny robot women, and TJ finally comes to the defense of clear plastic.
It's still Vangelis. Oh my god! And Aaron, oh my god!
Yes, man. I'll put your name in, see if we can get you connected with them because you're
dude. That's so funny. I was listening to them when I was like literally 2007 going to BotCon. I was 11, 12 years old, 13, 14.
Yeah, and you'd still go to BotCon today as a 26-year-old man if it were still going on. I'm 100%.
Well, furthermore, BotCon is back, baby. BotCon is back.
Is it Canada this year?
What was the other podcast you want to be on?
Star Wars one.
Yeah, we'll just put the brakes on. All right, we ain't giving any more free pub on this episode. Okay, do me a favor. If you're here at the YouTube, please rate, subscribe to wherever you're listening, but subscribe to the YouTube. Even if you only listen on the audio, just help us out. The Justuff League appreciates your assistance,
and we will get better with this. Yeah,
hopefully, we'll see. And honestly, I mean, I think the goal for not next time, but the time after next time, we'll get Kevin back.
Yeah, Kev Dog
will be right in the league.
It's going to be crazy watching him. He's just be like, whoa.
Justuff League.